We're live.
Hello, everyone, and welcome back to Stardust RPG Into the Vast. I am William, and I am your game master for this science fantasy D&D 5th edition campaign. Joining me today, we have Cody.
Hi, I'm Cody. I'm playing Cardon Droya, the Kardash Way of Mercy monk.
And Sam.
Hey, I'm Sam. I'm playing Herschel, a talking tree whose new all-purpose tool, his favorite thing, is that it both cuts and slices and toasts toast.
And John.
I'm John. I'm playing Dorak, the chronology wizard who is trying to figure out why everything.
Is it toast before you toast it?
It is if you
No,
have the
that's
intention of eating it right away. It's really underdone toast.
I call that bread.
Raw toast.
It's cooked. It's still cooked. It's just not cooked
It is
enough.
It's
toast, but it's not toasty.
It's pre-toasted toast.
Now that sounds like toast that you toasted before you ate it, which is just all toast.
Is that
Well,
like
you did,
browning
but you didn't.
beef?
Yeah, you didn't toast it enough, so you have to toast it some more for it to get crunchy.
I mean, it's pretty toasty inside a bread oven.
See? Someone gets it.
And Andrew.
Hello, I'm Andrew, and I'll be playing Mark Seven, the Warforged Buccaneer Captain.
The aforementioned bread oven.
You what, mate? No, wait, let me try that again.
That wasn't a no.
You what, mate?
That's it.
Oh.
I'm making a warforged artificer armorer that is a chef, and it's like their body is an oven.
The built-in artificer's tools that you have is just chef's utensils.
Yeah, exactly. I baked you a cake. It's poisonous.
So Bender from that one episode of Futurama.
Yeah, just imagine
all of them.
Imagine if the tools you because basically in order to cast spells as an artificer, you just have to use tools, like any sort of toolkit works. It doesn't have to be Tinker's tools. So imagine using chef's utensils, and just like you have an oven in your chest, and that's how you cast all your fire spells. But you also bake into it consumables for your healing spells.
I mean, I've thought of that already with like a chef artificer who just wasn't a warforged. Who was basically just Guy Fieri,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Guy Fiery.
I just fireball, bam.
Guy Fiery, really.
Okay.
Welcome to Flavor Town.
More like Flamevertown, am I right, gamers?
Welcome to Flavor Town, population U.
I really liked that little gamers thing. That was good.
Good joke, streamer. Good joke.
Anyway, when last we left off, our party had confronted and defeated the Emperor and Empress of Nocturna and their most recently summoned demonic ally.
And really, by the party, we mean the two orc spirits I summoned.
Hang on, I
I
threw
mean,
at
I had
least
a
one
very-
grenade.
No, I know.
I had a very
just-
large gun for a few
They
seconds.
just
I
wailed on
caved in
the.
his skull.
They just wailed on the Empress until she went away.
It was a combined effort. But I believe you're down to one use on that orc stone now.
No, it's
Oh,
gone.
no,
No,
it's
it's
gone.
all. I used.
Oh,
all,
was that all of them? Oh,
Yeah, I used-
right, because you used the first one a while
I
ago.
used the
yeah.
first one a while ago,
Mm.
and then I used both. I used the first one in the core chamber, and then I used the second and third one to flank the Empress.
That's right. That's right. By the way, orc stones, good magic items.
Great magic items.
Now
Honestly,
it's gone. I'm gonna miss them.
orc stones of all variety should be a thing. Like, beyond just orc. What if you could summon, like, 6 halflings?
They would clean your house and then just leave.
Summon.
Well, they'd be in
halfling, summon gnome.
3 trench coats and look like 3 orcs.
You get stabbed 6 times.
I mean, I feel like just ancestor stones in general are a magic item that exists around Stardust, considering its sort of like presence of lineage as a major theme in the setting.
Like really, at that point, they look less like 3 people in trench coats, and we're like 3 centipedes standing up.
I don't know what kick you've been on lately, John, but you need to knock it off with centipede shit.
I don't know if William has presented any ogre peds to us, but we'll see.
Let's not do that today.
No.
I am not you. I do not have a fascination with human centipede.
I don't have a fascination with human centipede either. I just did that I included that for Jeremy.
Requesting change of topic immediately.
Anyway, you are in the throne room.
So.
If I remember right, someone was down and bleeding.
No.
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 I mean, the enemy.
Don't worry about it.
The demon.
All of our.
Well, Herschel's at 7 hit points. Mark 7 is at 8 hit points.
All right. Well, it wasn't. I knew it wasn't me, but all right.
Yeah, it was me. I got knocked over and then we leveled up, so I got back up.
Okay.
That's why I said don't worry about it.
See, now it makes sense.
I told Roll20 to use pop-outs for my character sheets, and it didn't. So now I have to refresh.
What a life you live.
Just being denied satisfaction by this virtual tabletop.
Yeah. So how many alarms are going off? All of them, or just like one?
None of them, actually, because you kind of got into a fight with the Emperor and Empress in the demon room, which is understandably not super tied into the rest of the security system.
Makes sense. And they'd expect a rumpus from the demon room. You wouldn't think twice about hearing like explosions and stuff, I assume. So
well, also remember
have...
that this was explicitly the reason you came in on this night, because the Empress sends all of the weak-stomached members of her palace staff away for the evening when she's doing demon summonings.
So, I believe what we should do next is loot the bodies for anything valuable, find the treasury, grab whatever we can, and then get the fuck out.
Aren't we intending to leave the general in charge? Shouldn't we leave him with enough treasury to run this place?
Well, that's why whatever we can carry, not the... We can't carry... I doubt we can carry enough to loot the entirety of the treasury. Unless several of you have very deep pockets.
I mean, that also implies that we can get into the treasury.
Let's see what we find here
first. Let's look at the bodies.
If the Emperor doesn't have the key to the treasury on his body, he's doing it very wrong.
Or doing it right? Why would you just carry that with you?
That seems.
If I was
first off, I'd like that key to be huge, like 3 foot across. That's how you safeguard a key.
Yes.
Make it too big to put in a pocket.
If I was a megalomaniacal tyrant, I would never want anyone but myself to hold the key to the treasury.
So theoretically,
so then you'd hide
where
it.
Where would you? Yeah.
I'm gonna walk to the door and make sure nobody walks up on us while everybody else is presumably looting.
Yeah, I'll kick a body over and look at him in the face, see if he's got a necklace on or something like that. I think the Empress had some weird magic stuff going on. Right?
I'm over there looking for stuff.
Yeah. So you pour over. Go ahead and make me an investigation check. Those of you that are checking the bodies.
I'm good at those.
That was. I mean, I'm very good at them, and that was a 2 on the die.
I have a -2, and I rolled higher on it, or the same on an intelligence save.
15. I rolled a 7. Are you still there?
Yes, I am still here.
Sorry, no one said anything, and I was desperately scared that my internet had just cut out. So, it's quiet. I'm not used to that talk.
Well, while William's deciding how terrible
So-
of a job we did. Oh, okay, go ahead.
Well, the on the Emperor, there's not much aside from his armor, which appears to be a set of glamored studded leather.
Hammered studded leather, so it looks like robes.
Yeah, well, it's a set of studded leather that you can make look like any clothing you desire.
Oh, that's cool.
Hello.
Are you not? I guess no. You're just wearing regular leather armor right now, aren't you?
I have studded leather.
Are you? Yeah. Hey.
Just
Glamour
bog standard.
Glamour studded leather is also +1 studded leather.
Mhm.
But on the Empress, the first thing you find is that there is a strange pocket in the wrist of her outfit that seems to lead to nowhere, and it's just kind of part of the outfit. And you reach your hand in, and you grip something solid, and you pull, and a rapier begins to slide out of the wrist of her robe.
Ooh.
Interesting.
And the rapier itself is forged out of this sort of dark, like almost obsidian-like metal. It's very reflective, but it's also like onyx black, and is etched with these sort of crimson runes along the edge of the blade.
Need to identify that. Did that seem like it was a wrist pocket, or like it was something about her robes that was hiding that?
Seemed like it was a function of her robes.
I'm going to cast Identify on her robes, and then the rapier.
So the robes are what are, to your Identify spell, known as Trickster's robes, which you're not going to find in any sort of magic item thing because it's a thing that I've written down. But it's basically a set of robes that provide a +1 bonus to your unarmored AC, and also you can store one item in each wrist, which you can retrieve as a bonus action at any time. Just an action to store them into the wrist, but it's a bonus action to retrieve.
I'm going to see if there's anything stored in the other wrist.
In the other wrist is what appears to be a small crimson sphere, which you can easily surmise as being an arcane focus.
Okay. Well, these robes would be very useful, he says, looking at the dead body and not stripping the robes off of her. Sort of looting the bodies didn't extend to clothes as far as he was concerned until just now, and now he's a little distressed. I'll put that off, and I'll cast Identify on the rapier.
The rapier is an Acheron rapier, which is a magic item that you can look up and find.
Well, looking at the group, it's not quite your style, Mark 7, but I think this would benefit you. It's a...
Did you find?
Yes, this is it's a rapier. It's a magical rapier. It is, as I look up information on my thing over here, so I don't say it improperly. It's
Ooh.
Well,
It's
it's a magical weapon that you can use to give yourself a temporary boost in your vitality, and also you can instill fear into your opponents with it.
Intriguing. I will hold on to it for now, if you do not mind.
I mean, I think you're the best person to utilize it amongst the group of us.
Very well. I will take that rapier and stow it somewhere about my extensive arsenal.
To be specific, the black blade of this rapier is crafted from a mysterious arcane alloy. You gain a +1 bonus to attack and damage rolls made with this magic weapon. It does require attunement. While the sword is on your person, you are immune to effects that turn undead. Doesn't really matter for you because you're not undead, but it has the Dark Blessing property. While holding this sword, you can use an action to give yourself 1d4 plus 4 temporary hit points. This property can't be used again until the next dusk. And it has the Disheartening Strike feature. When you hit a creature with an attack using this weapon, you can fill the target with unsettling dread. The target has disadvantage on the next saving throw it makes before the end of your next turn. The creature ignores this effect if it's immune to the frightened condition. Once you use this property, you can't do so again until the next dusk.
And it's a rapier, so it's a finesse weapon as well.
Mm-hmm.
Which I'd be able to use it decently if I had any talent with rapiers, which I don't, because being a noble does not give you any additional weapon proficiencies. I'm not even a noble, I'm a sage, so yeah.
Simple weapons all the way over here. I'm telling you, tree men not built for finesse.
But yes, I can have a look at anything you found over there if you'd like. I'm still pondering what to do with this. Just sort of looking at the Empress's dead body.
What became of the demon? Did it blow into dust?
Yeah, it dissipated shortly after it died.
That's what I thought, but I want to make sure. Are you gonna strip the robe, or what are you gonna do?
It does seem a tad inappropriate, I guess would be the phrase.
I mean, yeah, a little bit. It's not like, I mean, it's a robe.
Yeah.
It's not
but it's a robe.
It's a robe.
It's a very good robe.
Is it? I mean, it's red. Was it? What color is it?
Black with red trim.
Oh,
I'd have to make some visual adjustments to it. But...
Visual and physical, I imagine, given that it is designed for a human female.
Well, magical items are typically enchanted with the fact that they will reform themselves to fit whatever wearer attunes to them. So that much it wouldn't need. It would just be the coloring.
It makes them the very devil themselves to die, is what it does.
What?
Oh, have you never tried?
I don't even know what you just said.
Oh yeah, I mean, I would love to watch you try and dye this robe a different color.
Oh, I see. Yes. I mean, I know how. I've done this before. I'm a wizard.
And I'm an alchemist.
Well, it's in this particular field, alchemy doesn't work as well as wizardry. Of dyeing magical items.
Cardon walks back to the group. Everybody, we good? We find everything?
He doesn't want to take the robe.
I mean, I want to take the robe, but I don't want to take them off her.
Yeah, he wants to... There's a great legend among my people of a weekend at a man named Bernie's.
No. I just
do we have to do that until we get back to the ship?
It feels very. There's a certain level of, you're dealing with the evil empress and the evil emperor, freeing people from tyrannical dictatorship, and all that's well and good. But then stripping the clothes off of a corpse is like sort of you go from the very sort of a moral superiority in one location to a degradation, as it were, in the other.
Why?
Did you find anything Did you find anything in their pockets?
Yes, a rapier and a stone.
Are we going to keep that?
Well, yes.
We're keeping the stuff. Yeah.
Well, then line's been crossed, and he walks over and he'll grab the cloak and he'll take the top half of his shift weave, and swap that and just hand the cloak over, or the robe over to Durak.
You're very practical about
Swapping
these
seems
things, aren't you,
worse
Cardon?
somehow.
Sure. We're at the top of a hostile
Yes, we should go.
tower.
Well,
Yes.
it's not hostile yet. Hang on. Where are we going? We have to make it
The
back.
yet is dependent on if we're seen or not.
The leather for Mark 7? Who wants the leather?
I assumed, did we grab the leather already?
Yes. I haven't sorted it out yet. Any keys on either of them? No, probably not.
Where do you keep your treasury key?
Well, it's not so much a key as it is a magical enchantment that is designed to only allow specific people through, so we don't actually have a key.
So maybe they have an enchantment as well.
That's possible.
I mean, makes sense to me. Where's the plan
I guess
after
I forget
this?
that other
We leave
kingdoms
the room
also have
and
magical
what?
rulers.
Well, not so much magic as a giant battery of power.
I mean,
ship gun.
Well, yes, but also magic. But
let's go
back the way we came.
Right, through the hallway and try not get caught, and then what? Just back to the ship?
Well, no, back to the tavern.
Oh yes, we have to install our own despot.
Yes, where our new beneficent ruler will be waiting.
Well, I hope.
Oh.
Though I doubt Lord General O'Donnell has made it here in the span of a couple of days.
Oh no, we should send word to O'Donnell as well.
Indeed.
To the resistance, then.
So, you gather your items, and you leave. Someone roll me a perception check.
Sure.
Oh, I'm good at those.
I love how stupid that
I have
scene was.
a passive perception of 19.
I have a passive perception of 16.
I rolled a 19.
So, Mark 7, because you're the only one who decided to roll.
Oh, I thought. Oh,
well,
I thought you were only
someone.
asking. Yeah, can we all roll?
Can if you want to.
Okay. 21.
24.
Waiting
There you
for
go.
Cody to I was waiting for Cody to get like 26. It's like a steady stream upwards.
I mean, it makes sense. We are very on edge, trying not to get caught in this giant maze of a tower.
So all four of you, as you're leaving, ever so faintly hear a clattering noise.
Look to the clatter.
Who dropped what?
Something fell over somewhere in this vicinity, but you can't see anything of note.
Ritual cast detect magic.
What's the range on that?
30 feet.
Not able to see any magic immediately in your vicinity.
I will walk around the room because I can hold it for 10 minutes.
What is it stopped by, distance-wise?
You sense the presence of magic within 30 feet of you. If you sense magic in this way, you can use your action to see a faint aura around any invisible creature or object in the area that bears magic, and you learn at School of Magic, if any. The spell can penetrate most barriers, but it is blocked by 1 foot of stone, 1 inch of common metal, a thin sheet of lead, or 3 feet of wood or dirt.
How many? 1 inch of metal?
Yeah, 1 inch. One inch of common metal. Yeah.
1 inch of metal that doesn't know it's
Actually, this room is mostly stonework. That's actually it's been remade inside the starships. So, yeah. As you wander around, you begin to pick up a magical aura from the other side of one of the walls.
Gentlemen and lady, I have discovered something interesting over here. I say, pointing at the wall.
The wall?
On the other
Or
side,
beyond the wall?
beyond the wall, yes. I wonder if there's
secret door interesting, or
I wonder. This is a secret door. Yes, I'm just curious as to where the leverage is. I'm looking for a button or a lever.
Roll me investigation.
I too.
I'm
will
testing the
check this wall.
strength of the wall, just like
Another 15.
pushing up against it a little bit.
That's
It's a
20
few
roll, yeah.
inches thick of pretty solid stone. It's not a full foot, which is why his detect magic could get through it. But
Do I get the feeling that I could kick through this if we can't find the lever?
Maybe.
Okay.
I have catapult. We could do this.
With a 20 though, Herschel, you slowly find that there is a you sort of look around and there's this sort of faint motive pattern around this end of the wall, like sort of the way the wall design sort of draws the eyes away from that particular section of wall to like down to the floor and across a floor pattern that leads to one of the braziers. So you walk over and you sort of tip the brazier over, and you find that it's actually not just set on the ground, it's slotted into it. And there's this sort of recess underneath it, and you sort of tilt it a little bit, and it clicks something. And that wall slides to the side.
Oh, a classic.
Good work.
That's the alarm.
On the other side, you find what looks to be a small recess, like a hidden, basically just a hidden compartment. It's not very large, but laying on the ground, what seems to have fallen off of a rack designed to hold it, is a somewhat well used, but definitely in functioning order sniper rifle that is emitting a magical aura. There is nothing in this room that would have caused it to fall off if it was secured on that hook.
I bring out the sphere of power and approach it.
It does nothing to this particular item.
Okay, good.
Melts it.
Here's another one. Cast Identify.
It does nothing to this particular item, but your identify definitely identifies this item as something significant. You have identified a legendary item that is another of those weird items that shouldn't be here, and you're starting to detect a theme. Because you have found Longshot.
Ooh.
This legendary rifle was made using the soul of the only man to ever beat Deadlock in a shooting contest. He was granted a single wish from the Wandering God, and his wish was to forever be the greatest marksman in the galaxy. To that end, on the day of his death, Deadlock took his soul and, with his grace and willingness, forged him into a weapon of unparalleled precision and aim. You gain a plus in the weapon's current state. You gain a +1 bonus to attack and damage rolls made with this magic weapon. And when you successfully land a critical hit with this weapon, it deals an additional 1d12 ballistic damage after multiple.
So we have now found yet another item that only Mark 7 can wield.
Hello, good looking.
How many hands do you have, Mark 7?
We've got the rapier, the pistol, and now this.
Rapier, Veer Thing, standard pistol, short sword, hand crossbow, machine gun, and now a long rifle, by the look of things. I am going to need to install additional limbs.
We can work on that. I've had some ideas lately.
In all seriousness, however, I will be quite content to be the walking armory of the crew.
I don't think I can use a sniper rifle. Yeah, Marshall, right?
It's
yeah.
specifically an assassin rifle.
Yes, my My advanced level of weapons training unfortunately ends at a taser, so...
Actually, no, it should be a sniper rifle. Sorry, I completely mislabeled it. Yeah.
Yes, I noticed there were assassin rifle and sniper rifle in the compendium.
There are two different weapons. This one should, in fact, be a sniper rifle.
And quite frankly, if it's bigger than a light crossbow, I'm not confident in my ability to wield it properly anyways.
If you ever feel the need to take up additional training when we have time, let me know.
I would be very useful. I may take you up on that. Particularly considering that we are now carrying a magical arsenal.
I didn't intend to completely front load Mark 7 with all this equipment. It's just the way it sort of shook out.
Oh,
How many
I
can you-
will be quite content when you start dishing out items galore for everybody else.
Well, I'll just have to content myself with my magical bag of spices.
And, the book that is a legendary item
yes,
from your,
yeah.
from
there's
your
also that,
collection.
yes. There's
Yeah.
also that.
The book that transformed into another book when a giant orb of power got placed near it. I wonder.
It's true. And a staff made of spiders. Well, this is a good find, I say, picking this heavy thing up and handing it to Mark 7.
Who will quite happily take that and sling it somewhere about their person.
I feel like the rest of us all need like advanced pistol training or something.
Mark 7, how good are you at teaching a class?
I am capable of providing my instruction to others.
Yeah, if any of you would like to learn how to wield a specific weapon, you can indeed do so over your downtime. Which you'll have quite a lot on your next destination, because you're going to be crossing the galaxy.
Well, let's get out of here then, shall we?
It's back this way.
Yes.
Indeed, we have spent enough time here as it is.
Keep an ear out for any more secret doors.
Hang on
As an
1 second.
experiment, I'm going to tip the
Only I
braziers
had
over.
ears.
All right, so about every 15 feet, Cardon is gonna pop up against the wall to see if anything knocks loose on the other side.
You do that. Well, you do that like on the other side of a guard station. Somebody falls out of a bed. It's like,
Yeah, every
there's
about
something in
15,
here.
20 feet. Unless they hear footsteps, and they'll be like, "All right, there's obviously just people on that side. Don't need anything over there."
Cardon, it's not the walls that you have to shift, it's the braziers. As he tips over a brazier.
Does that one just fall?
Yeah, it just falls over.
We'll try the next one.
Clang!
We'll
It's
try
not
the
every
next one.
brazier. Yeah.
Yeah.
As
It's
you
too
make a
obvious if it was
significantly
everyone.
louder exit than your entrance was.
Well, they're on fire, so we're starting a. Oh wait, no, we wanted to keep this kingdom.
No, it's stonework. It's not wood.
Oh yeah, it's fine. It's fine.
Well, it's mostly
Okay.
stone and metal because it used to be a starship.
Mhm.
Right.
A tapestry catches fire. It's like, what the fuck are you doing?
They were gonna redecorate. They'd have to.
Yeah, I think they're gonna want to change the motif.
Yeah. Less demon and pits full of skulls. What was that back there?
Let's go while they can still blame the fire on the demon. Let's go.
So you make your way
Meanwhile,
out.
Max 7 already further down the
Yes.
hallway.
Yep.
You make your way out.
Make our way out. Back to the Resistance headquarters.
It's a relatively quiet trip as you make your way, sort of avoiding the attention of anyone else. And you eventually return to the Resistance. And aside from the regular members of the Resistance who are there, you find General Adano is waiting for you.
Ah, well, you arrived swiftly.
I am not without my connections.
Of course.
And a measure of premonition.
Well, you'll be happy to know that there are currently 2 less tyrannical demon summoners in the palace.
Yes, and I've heard that the Lord General, that the General Marcus Solend is also willing to talk peacefully.
Yes. And also the giant gun doesn't work anymore, so expect more ships in the future?
We'll have to be prepared to rejoin the galactic stage then.
Yes. I believe once we provide word to those who hired us, at the very least one more vessel should be heading this way.
Well, it sounds like we have you to thank for saving our world.
Yes.
You say that as if it's hesitant.
No, just thinking when somebody tells you you saved their world, it's impolite to say no, not really.
It is what we did, Durak.
Yes. But it's just, my instinct to say no didn't do much, but I guess we did technically do quite a lot.
You're both so somber. I mean,
I am.
surely we're about to have a big feast, no? All hail
I
the
think that
new
can be
king.
arranged.
Yeah. I would hope. I mean, come on. Get the people on your side, have a nice feast, say things are going to get a lot better around here, and then actually make them better.
That is the hope.
Hope nothing, my dude.
Well, there will be a lot of deep-seated resentment and prejudice to overcome in a large percentage of the population of the capital city and the areas closer to the seat of the empire. They've lived a long time believing themselves to be superior.
Well, if you'd like any lessons in inferiority, I'm sure we can dish out a few before we leave.
I think we'll be able to handle, especially with Marcus being able to provide some incentive.
Good. Well,
Not to mention, we'll be able to shut down their monster manufactories.
yes. I believe we put quite a big foot into that particular mechanical apparatus. So
At least one of them.
They only had so many, so
And
any one destroyed is a step in the right direction.
well, yes, we blew up a facility that was making monsters, and then we also blew up the mirror that they were using to summon demons. So
Excellent.
seems like the whole thing sort of the supply line's been cut as well as the manufacturing. Or at least one of them.
Perhaps over time, this will be something turns the tide and helps us make something of this world. But that is for the future and for myself and the General Soul End to discuss. For now, you should be welcomed with a hero's welcome. So, congratulations, heroes.
Thank you.
He sort of smirks at you. But nonetheless, take some rest. We'll get a feast going. I'm sure we can scrounge up something interesting.
Jirach just like turns and walks into a different room.
Revuel kind of watches as he leaves. Stiffest man I've ever seen.
Indeed. And also far too talkative.
Well, nonetheless, you have our gratitude, and, well, I'm sure you have places to be, but at least stay and let us show you some hospitality.
How far away is our ship?
Other side of the planet.
It was like
A ways, but
like
Mark
7
7
days?
happens to have a communicator that might be able to contact the person, sitting in it.
Indeed.
So you have some time, you have some downtime as the people around you start to prepare a feast to celebrate. What are you all up to?
I have found a quiet corner away from everyone else and have opened up my the book that I have now, and I'm just sort of studying the pages and the binding and everything, just studying the book in its entirety.
I think the first thing I'm going to do is pack myself against a wall and shut down for 6 hours. By which I mean I'm taking a long rest.
Cardon is going to just help move the heavy furniture for whatever they're putting together.
Big long table being dragged in.
Yeah, pretty much.
Carries one end of it by himself.
Yeah, pretty much.
I think that Herschel, after seeing literally everything neat in this world is festooned with runes and just writing of all sorts of arcane script, is going to take his every all tool and carve some new runes on his armor.
Writing is sort of the essence of a lot of enchantment in this setting, yes. Particularly writing in the precursor script.
Also, at some point, I will unattune from my Illuminator's tattoo. Ting! And
does that just turn into a tattoo needle?
Yeah,
again?
It just turns into an ink needle. Yep. Stow that away, and then attune to the new robes that I have acquired, which you said are +1 robes, basically.
Yes, they're called the Trickster's robes, and they provide a +1 bonus to your unarmored AC, and you can store an item in each wrist as an action and retrieve them as a bonus action.
All right. I'm going to test a little bit, sort of experiment a little bit with see if there's any size restriction to that. And if there isn't, my staff and book go into those wrists.
The only restriction is that they have to be handheld items. You obviously can't fit like a car in them.
Okay, so yeah, staff and book will be the two things that I keep in those most often.
I cannot wait to see you blow the staff out of your sleeve.
It's less like sort of blowing and more it's like it's when like a magician has like a collapsible wand and they just sort of flick their wrist and the wand's in their hand. It's like that, but it's a staff.
Oh, they make those. A friend of mine had one. The collapsible staffs are super dupe.
Yeah.
Yeah. You guys get the time of a long rest in, for those of you that would like to take one, which Mark 7 does.
Yeah, also taking a long rest.
Yeah. During the long rest, I would also like to... Oh, wait, hang on. I need to double check a thing about... hang on. Where is it?
Well, they are double checking a thing.
There we are.
I have a question. So, reading my level up last week, I believe that I have expertise with every tool I touch.
Let me double check. Officer.
Because it just mentions a tool. It says whatever, like with the tool, just you have the expertise.
Your proficiency bonus is doubled for any ability check you make that uses your proficiency with the tool. So yeah, anytime you make a tool ability check, if you're proficient in that tool, you have expertise in that tool.
So my all-seeing, all-knowing multi-tool, Swiss Army
gives you proficiency with every tool. So yes.
So I am tool expert.
William, Am I able to coax this robe into changing its color, or am I stuck wearing red and black?
You can probably find something to change its color, but not by base. Like, it can change its shape to match your body type, but its coloration is sort of infused. You can probably find either a spell or someone who knows how to change its appearance otherwise.
Well, there's nothing that I am aware of. Nothing that I have the capability for at the moment.
Yes.
Okay.
Not so easy, is it, Magic Man?
Just have to know the right spell.
Thought us tinkerers were just messing around, huh? Thought you could come in with your big spelly spells and just magic up whatever you wanted, huh?
Yes.
Well, turns out on this one particular small thing you cannot.
Fair enough.
I told you, the tanners, man. I think it's a tanners union thing because those people they smell terrible day in and day out, and they have to have some sort of compensation for their work.
Flick my wrist and the staff goes away.
Sucked up like a pneumatic tube at a bank.
Just. This will be
well, no, it takes an action to put it away. It's actually a more involved process because you have to be like, okay, wrist open, staff goes in.
It's a slow slurp over 6 seconds.
No, you just got to wedge it in there with the base of your palm.
An action doesn't take 6 seconds. It just takes a portion of 6 seconds.
Boy. Yeah.
No, the flick of your wrist is the bonus action to make it come out. No, the action is you have to like actively insert it into that wrist pocket and just kind of stuff it down there.
Avoiding all the... You really should keep birds in there.
No.
That's what it's for, right?
No.
Where is your bird, anyway?
Currently a spider and currently sitting on your head.
Cool.
It's just a small spider hanging from a string.
One of the smaller spiders that have sat on me.
After a amount of time, a feast is presented, and everyone celebrates the literal change of the world for them because you have just basically let them know that they can stop living under tyranny.
So, William,
if you're a medieval world and you're not celebrating with a feast, you're not doing it right.
So, William, with this robe, is it more is it more like, slimline Nazi design, or is it more like,
Is it a Hugo Boss robe, or is it a wizard robe?
Yeah. Or is it more like Diablo Necromancer?
It is decidedly faintly Victorian.
Ooh.
So high collar, got it.
Yeah, very very high collar.
Frills.
And like the sort of like the black with the sort of faintly silverish like pinstripes. Well, they're not pinstripes, but you know those
piping
series of like the vertical stripes that exist on like the puffy shoulders of like Victorian era stuff. Like that, and then a bunch of red trim as well.
I would keep it red and black, honestly. It looks very cool. I mean, we can bleach it white if you want, but that's...
I wouldn't keep.
No.
No, I'm redesigning my Hero Forge figure because I do that every time I update my character, what I'm wearing.
Mark 7.
Yes.
Did you call the ship?
Yet, I spent most of my time conducting self-repairs and exchanging armor components. That is me saying I spent 2 hours first removing the studded leather I currently have, and then spent 1 hour to remove that, and then another hour to put the glamored studded leather on.
Yep.
If you will excuse me, I shall contact Wrenches.
It just occurred to me that maybe Wrenches likes roast duck as much as the rest of us.
possible. She has spent considerable time sitting on her own in the middle of nowhere. Maybe she needs a break.
Eating rations.
Is that what this is? Is this duck? Cardon says
Well,
with a mouthful.
That's
Certainly
not
seems
duck,
like it.
but that one is.
Hmm.
You're eating what we technically call turkey, but also actually isn't a bird. It's a small four-legged mammal.
So why do you call it turkey then?
Will come from Turkey, doesn't it?
There's a place called Turkey on this planet.
Yeah,
What are they known for?
the mammal. It's a big island. It looks like a rat, but it's big. It's a thing that happens on islands.
The turkey is.
Well, yes, but in general, small mammals getting big, yes.
You're fairly certain that he's describing a mimic.
I'll stick with the vegetables and the identifiable meat.
Because in this setting, mimics do actually have a true form, and it is sort of a large rat with multiple eyes.
Evocative.
They tend to hide away on ships and like chew on electronics and disguise themselves as like bar stools and other random objects.
Why do we have 2 chess sets on the ship?
Because somebody
Extrude
said they
done.
liked
We
it
don't.
once. And so their families
played
kept
chess
sending them
one.
chess.
Yeah.
Specifically, they look like that in live chat.
Ah,
Yeah.
neat.
Creepy.
Looks tasty.
Yeah.
Just gonna move my voice smart window to cover that.
A lot of meat on the hind legs, and it's presumably supple, you know.
Because it changes shape.
Yeah. You know, none of the meat works too hard. So it's all tender.
Or all of the meat works too hard all the time in order for it to change its shape. And so it's the toughest meal in the world.
To
Well,
your
no.
weak human jaws.
If you could change shape, and you changed shape the entire time and you were so tense, wouldn't your true form be so relaxing?
That's why they revert to it when they
Yes.
die.
Yeah, so their true form is like
But they're constantly
no use at all.
Well, yeah, but they're constantly changing shape, so the muscles are still sore and tense and
Right, but they're
big.
changing back to the muscles that weren't used at all.
But it's the same muscles; they're just changing shape.
Yeah, to less tense muscles, tastier muscles, marbled with
While-
fat muscles.
While everyone else is debating the edibility of a mimic,
Oh, we're not
Since-
debating. It's edible.
either way, while everyone else is eating, drinking, making merry, because I can do one of those 3 things, I will step away, pull out my communicator, and contact the Studios Vanguard.
You get a few seconds later. What the hell took you so long? I've literally been sitting here for a couple of weeks.
Several
Oh, it is
side
14 days.
missions that were relevant to the overall goal, but what matters is the job is done. I will send you coordinates to land on the other side of the world.
Finally. Yeah, I'll be there in a minute.
And then she just hangs up.
That's really, I mean, yeah, minutes. That's so funny.
Literally a couple of minutes later, you can hear a ship overhead.
Thank you.
You're going to learn a lot about space travel very soon, Herschel.
I mean, what's to know?
Oh, what?
Many things.
Many things. For one, it's much faster than you think it is, and also much slower than you think it should be.
Are we prepared to depart then?
I'm good. Yes.
I'm set to go.
All right, but we make a stop first.
Where?
Witches will be disappointed. Where do you want to go?
One last trip back to the manor. Back to my manor, really.
Seems more than reasonable.
So, you depart with much fanfare as the rebels cheer you on as you head back up to the studious vanguard. And head.
Ooh. Do I have a room?
I'm sure we can find one for you. Look, there's one here, and there's one here, and there's one here, and there's one here, and there's one here. The one with the bed is Cardon's.
I would also offer Lyra the room of her picking, save for the captain's cabin, of course.
Wait, is the captain's cabin that big thing with the desk in front?
Mm-hmm. Not that I really need the space.
Oh, weird. Yeah, huh.
The things that are marked with E's are
one
elevators.
next to the broom closet here. What's this thing marked E? Is that an elevator?
Yeah, it's an elevator.
Yes, that's the elevator down to the main deck.
And to the storage.
That's the eject room.
Oh, I want to be in the eject room.
That's where we keep prisoners. We can blow it out if we needed to.
Yeah.
Well, that's this one right here.
Oh yeah, that's true.
Oh yes, this one. This is
Our
the
captain,
outfit.
who does not eat or drink or have wastes, has a private bathroom attached to their cabin.
Yes.
Got to keep up appearances.
The ship was not built for me.
Well, surely the words captain's cabin can be put on any door.
If you would like to spray paint the words captain's cabin on your door, feel free. At least we will know who the room belongs to.
Oh. All right. Assuming we go to my manor.
Yes.
Yeah.
I would like to spend some time and grab the dirt and rocks and small tree bushes that I lived next to for a couple 100 years and put them in my room.
Mm-hmm. You
So
acquired
about a 4-inch layer of topsoil.
plant.
Just
Let me see what I can.
William, you said black robes, red highlights, silver accents.
Yes.
Okay.
Oh, you're doing it much nicer than I was. I was just going to draw a green square.
Better. Here we go. Sure.
Somebody's going to get on a ship and be like, why is there a terrarium in one of the rooms?
Because there's a tree in that room. Obviously.
Yeah.
And then Herschel just walks out of the bathroom wiping his hands.
Hey, knock.
There you go.
Oh, thank you. Perfect. And then in the lab, I guess we'll just put whatever assorted glasswork and I can think of, just kind of set up a makeshift alchemist lab in the ship. From
what did we already
the
have
manor.
in there for Dr. Vita? Remind me.
We have some.
I believe it was an alchemist lab.
Was it?
Yeah,
Okay, good
though
enough.
probably not set up to your specifications.
No, not enough brass.
Yeah, I think it was for
Dark
like
wood.
basic alchemy so that you could make potions.
Okay. Well, that's everything I guess I needed to do on this planet ever again.
I mean, you can stay if you'd like.
There's not really anything for me here.
You'll learn very quickly that there is a vast array of places to go, many things to do, and you can always come back, Lyra says.
Aren't you from here, Lyra?
You forget that I'm a demon.
Well, yes, but I mean,
I've been summoned elsewhere.
large port. Fair.
Really, it's a good point, huh?
Well, if we are all comfortable, for lack of a better descriptor, I shall set a course.
Yeah, let's go see these stars everyone keeps banging on about.
Oh, back to Gilgamesh Station.
Incorrect, Dirac.
I thought
our objective needs to be delivered to the planet Alurin.
I thought we were going back to talk to... Oh, well. Never mind then.
Our job is not complete.
I must be misremembering or just not remembering at all. It's been a while.
Indeed. Thankfully, I keep logs of this in my databanks.
Now, it's common practice for summoned fiends to act like they're only familiar with the things that are on the place they're summoned to, but we remember every time we get out here.
That just seems polite to do. Yeah. I'm sure it leads to less confusion as well.
Yes, when you get called to a feudal world and start referencing space and technology, it just creates confusion.
Understandable. Off we go then, I guess.
I'd rather not go back anytime soon.
Well, then stick.
Brace for a departure of atmosphere.
As I take the ship upwards.
There is a rumble.
Is there a windscreen or a...
Yes, there is.
...thing I can look out?
There is a bulkhead and there's like the helm has a viewport.
Okay.
Have a look and enjoy your first takeoff, Herschel.
You look as the wind resistance rumbles the ship just a bit, and it begins to climb, and the clouds start to fall away beneath you, and eventually you start to leave atmosphere. You are in the blackness of space.
You know, 15 days old and he's already left the planet.
Impressive.
What all types of weapons do we have on the ship? Just the ones we found down there, correct?
I believe that we established what weapon.
We did.
We loaded up the speeder bike before we left, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Double checking.
The Studio's Vanguard is equipped with laser autocannons.
I'm talking about armory.
Oh, like personal weapons? Yeah. Just what you found, yeah.
Okay. All right. That's what I thought.
I need to get you guys a ship. So you have, hang on, let me.
We no longer here, so I guess I can erase that.
Oops, that was the wrong place.
17.8 days.
You got about 2.5 weeks before you'll make it to Alurin.
All right. So riddle me this.
Batman.
crafting guide creator. How are you doing crafting?
What would you like to craft?
Some cloaks of the manta ray.
Oh, is that one of your
Yeah,
infusions?
yeah.
You just make those.
I can just manufacture them.
Yeah,
Well,
like
a number of them
if
equals
it's your
your
infusion,
infusion.
you can just kind of make it over a
Well-
long rest.
No, like right. I want to make a physical item.
Oh,
Not
like a
just
permanent one?
infuse. Yes.
Okay. Let's see. Let me look at Cloak of the Manta.
Because by knowing the infusion, I have like the blueprint. So
Yes. Let me see. Ethar's had crafting, right? Yeah.
yeah, I took Cloak of the Manta Ray, and so everyone will be getting a Cloak of the Manta Ray. I took Boots of Elvenkind, so everyone will be getting some boots. I figured those would be nice things to have, right?
So
Eventually.
it'll take about 2 work weeks
Understand
and
that-
about
I will point out I'm full up on attunements, so
Oh yeah. These things don't require attunements.
okay,
That's
yeah,
why I chose them.
yeah. Things that require attunements not good, but things that don't, that's fine.
yeah, to make a Cloak of the Manta Ray will take about 2 work weeks, which conveniently space travel takes a good amount of time.
Sure.
And about 200 gold worth of materials.
All right.
Did the +1 claw gauntlets that I have, did those use attunement?
No.
Okay. I'm empty attunement slots then. Except for actually no, I have the gauntlets.
Oh yeah, the Gauntlets of Ogre Power.
I have 2 free slots.
It'll take
I also
about
have
200.
2 free slots.
It'll take about 200 gold worth of materials and the essence of a water aligned creature, which is a thing that you'll have to hunt down. But you can get most of the process done, and you'll just need to find that essence to just finish the item.
Okay.
Does that mean the boots of
I seem to
Elvenkind take the
recall-
essence of an elf?
Yeah. What are Boots of the Elvenkind? What do you think? Some sort
let's
of sneaky, maybe a cat type deal. They're dex things.
You have to bake an elf into these boots.
You have to catch another party's rogue.
Boots of Elvenkind take a similar length of time and gold as well, but
Yep.
the special material they will require is a leaf from an ironwood tree, which is grown commonly on elven occupied worlds. In this case, you're headed to Aloran, which is the elven capital. So
Oh, maybe I should start on those instead. All right. I seem to recall like 140 gold coming my way at some point. Am I wrong in that? I don't have it on my sheet, but I have it written down. in
I
my
have
paper notes.
150 gold, and I know I didn't start with that, so I would assume yes.
Yeah. So I can do 140 gold worth of work on them.
Mhm. And you'll just need the remaining 60 gold and the leaf of an ironwood tree.
Cool.
At some point in transit, Durak is sort of sitting in the cockpit or wherever our communal area is, where we sort of gather at random times.
That would be the miss hole on the lower deck.
Yeah, I mean, and just sort of out of nowhere, just sort of, or sort of, apropos of nothing, just sort of says, "I'm not used to things going well."
Did things go well? As he looks up from bashing 2 bits of leather together.
I mean, the job succeeded.
Well, not really. Job not done. Really.
We landed on the planet. We we recovered the power orb that we were sent to recover. We dealt with the tyrannical rulers. Nobody died. That we weren't intending to die at the very least.
Yet.
Yes, it's the other shoe that I'm waiting for.
Why are we giving... Wait, this orb, doesn't it... It reveals artifacts from your world, right?
Well, it's a precursor artifact itself, so I imagine it has some sort of resonance to precursor artifacts. Which, yes, the armory of...
All of
the armory
15...
of Dol, yes, the armory of Dol are all precursor artifacts, but...
Who are we giving this very powerful orb to?
Well, I don't remember actually. Mark 7, do you remember who our delivery target is?
William, do I? My notes just say that an investigator will be able to use it.
Well, specifically, your target from the orders that you were given from Sonus or Karis, sorry. Sonus was the other guy. Was the guy. The specifics that Karos gave you were that you were to retrieve the orb and take it to Alurin for one of her investigators to look it over and presumably do something with it, but that it would be yours for whatever mission she might have. Like, a researcher needed to take a look at it and give it a once-over. But you weren't handing it off, you were getting it inspected.
It's ours, but they want to take some pictures. Maybe make a
yes, I will relay that information.
Yes, we're not handing it off to anyone then. We're just having it inspected.
Okay. I actually do feel better about that, seeing as, this orb was responsible for my world's galactic isolation. Just handing it off to someone else.
About a day into your journey, the communicator goes off.
I will answer it.
Ahoy, hoy.
And the familiar face of the golden eyes and the familiar face and golden eyes of Sonus, Karos. I keep getting their names mixed up. Karos. Are looking back at you. So, seems like you were successful.
Indeed. We are on our way to Alurin now.
Excellent. You'll be looking for a Dr. Kyliran Vantris, and she'll be taking a look at the artifact, seeing if she can unleash its potential. Once you're done with her, I'll be in contact again about some potential next jobs for you.
Acknowledged and understood. Name recorded.
Who was that?
Good luck out there. The communicator cuts off.
Our current employer.
Okay.
Which one was that again?
That was Karos, the orc
That was
woman.
Karos? Yes, that was Karos. One of the people that hired us.
They seem nice.
Duroc does not respond to that statement.
Admittedly, we have not known Karos and Sonus for very long, despite them being our employers at the present time. We shall have to get you a face-to-face introduction.
Oh yes, I suppose it didn't really even occur to me. I'm employed by them too, right? Surely.
Well, technically you're along for the ride, so... But...
Oh, no. No. I have deep memories of freelance work. Okay.
You don't have a lance.
Spoken like someone who hasn't done freelance work.
I'm a hedge wizard. I do nothing but freelance work.
Then what? Then surely you understand my plight.
No.
Ugh. It's that wizard bit, huh? All right. Well,
It's
let's
always the
just say I
wizard
don't
bit.
have high hopes for getting paid.
Oh, well, I mean, not directly, but we'll split what we have with you.
No, okay, that could work out. I could be a subcontractor.
I mean, you are, effectively, yeah. Is that funny?
Sorry, just 200 years of not getting paid for my work. Well, our work, really. Oh, this potion was too red. Oh, this one made me fall in love with a pig. You know what? They were fine.
I'm not sure I follow.
I walked in at a weird time.
I suppose that's what happens when you live on a low magic, high magic, low tech world.
It's an interesting
No
descriptor you provided there.
respect. Oh, it's become very apparent that my world was backwater as they come in some respects.
Oh, yes. I mean, you were intentionally limited from space travel by the descendants of the people who, via force and the use of a precursor weapon, took over control of the planet that your initial... Well, that not yours, because you were probably already there, but the initial inhabitants crashed on, so... That's a backwater world and more an imprisonment camp of some sort. Just a very large one.
A forcibly isolated planet is probably the best descriptor.
Is this sort of thing common?
Thankfully,
Not to my knowledge.
Yeah, thankfully,
I would
no.
hope not. Yeah.
If they are, they generally don't broadcast it.
And these precursors, I mean, the whole reason my planet was able to be isolated, these precursors, they seem to be pretty rare bunch anyway.
Oh, they're dead.
Their tech, well, that's rare, isn't it?
Yes, that would be the rarest of rare, yes.
Well, at least there's that.
Yes, at least they're all dead.
Hey, man. Directly responsible for my fucking planet, you know.
Well, they're not. Their weaponry is. There's a slight difference.
Indeed. There is much we can still learn from my creators.
If you were to create a potion of alchemical fire, and Mark 7 were to pour it down someone's throat, you would not be directly responsible for the scalding that man's throat received.
No, but do know, Mark 7, you shouldn't pour it down their throat because it's the oxygen in the air that ignites it. So you're limiting yourself to just the air in the throat.
Duly noted. I typically prefer to just shoot someone, but alchemical fire is a solid deterrent.
But yes, that's the point I'm making there, is that you wouldn't have been directly responsible for that, much like the precursors aren't directly responsible for what happened to your people. It's the misuse of their technology by sycophants and tyrants that the problem lies with.
Maybe.
This is going to be a long trip.
So, over the course of the next 2 weeks, what would you like to get done?
I would like to train with a rapier.
Would someone like to teach you how to wield a rapier?
I am not proficient in rapiers.
Is that the menu we have to choose
Are
from?
you not proficient? You're not proficient in all martial weapons?
Nope.
Oh, well,
Captains
you
get
can't.
very specific proficiencies.
You can't
Like
use
they
the
can use
rapier
the
either.
rapier.
Then.
Wow.
Someone may have to teach you.
Oh, we have someone
Uh,
here who can use a rapier, though. I say, looking at Lyra.
Oh yes, she absolutely can.
Lyra
I will
proficient with
hand
all
it off to
weapons?
her.
I'll have Lyra teach me how to use a rapier.
I can certainly teach someone over the course of a couple of weeks.
I will hand off the Acheron rapier for use in this training.
The Acheron rapier requires attunement too, doesn't it?
Yes, it does.
I've got robe, staff, and book.
Ooh. Those robes are attunement?
Yeah. The robes
Oh.
require attunement. The book requires attunement. The staff requires attunement.
No, they don't. They're just robes.
Oh, the
Yeah, I
robes
thought
don't.
they were just
Oh, the
robes.
robes don't require attunement.
No.
Fuck yeah! Wait,
There
hang
you
on.
go.
Does the staff require attunement?
I think you just like attuning things.
Hang on.
Do you get a bonus for attunement?
No. Spider staff.
Does not require it. No, yes,
No,
it does.
require.
Requires attunement.
Spider staff does require attunement.
Alright.
Yes.
Well, there you go.
And arcane grimoires.
I mean, if that doesn't require attunement, then what are you doing?
I believe they do require attunement. Yes, they do. Okay, so those two require attunement with the robe stone.
You took off your spell tattoo?
Yeah,
What
I
was
did.
it?
Because I thought the robes required attunement. So yeah, I'll take that rapier and train with it.
What type of item was that? First level or a cantrip?
What kind of item was what?
The spell rot tattoo.
Oh, the Illuminator's tattoo. It's
Oh,
not,
is it Illuminators?
Yeah, it's not a spell rot tattoo. It's an Illuminator's tattoo.
Okay, never mind.
Just a common Wondrous item, requires attunement.
Yeah,
You
yeah,
can write with your finger.
yeah. I thought it was a spell rot for some reason. Probably because I just said the word a bunch.
If anyone wants it, they're welcome to it. If anyone wants to write with their finger.
No, but I will ask, how intensive is Herschel's crafting going to be?
Given that I don't have the money to complete it in 2 weeks, pretty light.
Okay. Would we have the materials, William, for Herschel to fashion a machine pistol?
Ooh, interesting.
You would need.
Let me check my arsenal real quick.
Yeah, I was gonna say, don't we have a machine gun you can borrow?
You'd need about
I
10
can't-
gold worth of materials, which you probably have on hand.
Yeah. Okay.
Spare parts in the machinist locker in the ship or something, I'm sure.
So William, just to get would Lyra be able to train me in the use of the rapier?
Yeah.
Would I get proficiency in
It'll,
rapiers?
it'll require some checks from both of you
Okay.
over the course of the 2 weeks.
What sort of checks?
Give me 3 intelligence saves.
Ooh.
Or no, 4. 4 intelligence saves.
Saves. Oh no.
So yeah.
20,
I'll
16, 21. Oh, 4.
Give me one more. 4.
Natural 20.
Yeah.
We'll give. Fortunately, Lyra's very good at performance, although her rolls are garbage. But hey, there we go. Natural 20 on the same time too.
It's okay. Her roll was higher than mine on the one where I rolled lows. So
It feels like I just watched a montage happen in dice rolls, and then y'all ended when the song was at its most triumphant.
Yep.
So yeah, over the course of 2 weeks, Lyra will teach you how to wield a rapier.
do I gain that proficiency?
You do gain proficiency with rapiers.
All right, I will take the Acheron rapier and attune to it. As now the only person who can who can use it properly aside from Lyra, but she is also a succubus and can charm people, so.
Don't want to give magic weapons to your NPCs.
I do, just not when they can be used by others.
Tell you what, if we get a spare Acheron rapier, then yes.
Exactly. Or if I get something better than the Acheron rapier, then I'll pass it along.
You wanted a gun?
Machine pistol, yes. I'll bring up. This has a Galnet hookup, don't we, on the ship?
Yes, you do have a Galnet hookup.
I will show him what a machine pistol looks like, and then ask him if he can build it.
Wait, we've had what is this?
It's a galaxy net.
Yes, imagine.
It's an information network that spans the galaxy.
That.
We've had this whole time. I've been sewing shoes together, and we've had this whole time.
We have had this. Yes, you just got it.
That's fair.
Yeah. When you're done with that, I'll show you GalTube. It's very entertaining.
I don't know about GalTube. Hang on. All right. Yeah. I will browse the equivalent of Gal Wikipedia and look at how to make homemade guns.
I mean, would proficiency in mechanics tools help here, William?
Yes.
I have expertise in mechanics tools.
So with my proficiency in firearms and my knowledge of mechanics tools, I can probably provide you an accurate blueprint.
Ooh.
I might even be able to help speed it up since I can set the ship to autopilot.
That's the thing about space. You can just leave the steering wheel, and there's a solid chance you won't hit anything for years.
Yeah, but that 99.99% chance is only good for so long.
I mean, eventually we will go off into deep space and hit something else in 10,000 years.
Mm-hmm. But hit it like gravity, not actual physically.
But that's why the autopilot function exists. To not let us do that.
Now I
have put the Studious Vanguard's token onto the map, and it is controlled by its pilot, which is currently Andrew.
Now I never have to cast Shadowblade again.
Would you do it automatically?
No, I have Acheron Rapier, but I do. Shadowblade does more damage. I'm just making a joke.
All right, I'd like to make a gun for my friend who wants a gun.
I would like to make a gun, said the tinker.
I will provide whatever gold
Just
materials.
roll me a mechanics tools check with advantage, and your expertise, obviously.
You said 10?
Yes.
10 gold worth of
Yeah,
material?
10 gold worth of materials.
Awesome.
Oh,
Also
goodness.
awesome.
Oh, that's funny.
Wow. I got
was that what? Oh, sorry. That should have been with your dexterity or your intelligence. Intelligence, actually, in this case.
Intelligence,
That was with your int? Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. Over the course of a day or so, you are able to put together a machine pistol.
Cool. These really are quite neat. I could make more of these.
Don't look directly down the barrel.
Well, no, but there's nothing in there because I haven't put anything in there, so it's fine. How do you think they'd make the barrel in the first place? You have to look at it eventually.
Good habit to not get into.
I suppose basic firearm safety, sure. I've been watching videos. And he'll present to you a quite nice machine pistol with, I don't know. So machine pistol being what? Like, give me a real world thing I could Google.
Like a Mac
An
11.
Uzi.
Or like a Mac 11 or an
an
Uzi.
Uzi.
Yeah.
But bigger because I'm 8 feet tall.
Sure, yeah, big grips. Big grips for a big boy.
Machine
don't
pistol
know.
that fires 50 cal.
I've made you a bolter.
Yes.
Cool. Now let's get him another one and a jetpack.
Yes. Yes, I've been looking at jetpacks. I've been meaning to.
That's a
mean,
joke for a different campaign.
Yep.
Well,
I just need the chainsaw swords.
Oh, that's
Oh,
right.
man.
You gave me a bunch of good suggestions for armor
you gave
mods
me
too that
so
I
many
need to.
suggestions. Yeah.
The man, an Acheron rapier actually is really useful in the hands of. Well, I mean, it's more useful in the hands of somebody standing next to a wizard, but I get to think disadvantage on your next saving throw. Then cast a spell that makes you have a saving throw.
I mean, I've got a feature at level 11 that lets me force a lot of people to make saves. But we're not there yet, so.
It's like disadvantage on your next saving throw. Slow? You there. Slow down.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What else is everyone doing over the course of the next 2 weeks, other than things that have been listed?
I think that's.
Would Mark 7 like to teach anybody to use a heavier caliber of pistol?
Yeah, if anyone wants to learn to use a pistol, I could absolutely do that.
Sure.
Do you even have proficiency in the machine pistol?
I have proficiency in the machine pistol. I don't
Oh,
have proficiency in pistols or heavy pistols. Because those two aren't simple weapons.
Oh, interesting.
You are specifically not a Way of the Iron Path monk.
Exactly.
AKA a Shadowrun monk.
So, if you would like, over the course of 2 weeks, you can make 4. Either, in the case of Mark 7, you can make either 4 performance checks or 4 persuasion checks.
Oh, I'll take persuasion. I'm better at that.
Reflecting your ability to teach someone.
Hmm.
It's been a while since I've used a gun.
It's been a while.
And then
Twice now that's happened.
Yeah. Every time we
Been
say
about
bang.
180 years since I used a gun heavier than the one that I currently had made.
And then for Cardon, you can make 4 either intelligence saves or
Technology rolls for Cardinal.
technology rolls.
All right,
Light a
even
hand?
persuasion checks. 1, 2, 3, 4. Oh boy.
All right.
Not awful.
1, 2, 3, 4.
Barely, but because the ones that you rolled low are the ones that Mark 7 rolled high on, you do manage to successfully learn to wield. Are you teaching him heavy pistol or regular pistol?
I mean, heavy revolver might be good because then I could pass you along via thing if you want to use that.
That works for me.
Cool.
You learn how to use the heavy revolver.
Awesome. Thank you. It's been quite some time since I've used something this large.
What was that sound?
Anyway, so all right. And
one thing just on the look on the Galnet to see if there's been any stirrings from my should mostly be dead old crew.
Just roll me an investigation check.
All right. 1, but not natural.
Not able to find anything, at least.
All right.
Yeah, you're trying to budge in on the computers. I'm on it, just browsing the equivalent of
Why are there
Courses
so many?
Plus.
Does he know he can close the tabs?
I'm using those tabs. I'm coming back to them.
There are legitimately 50 open. What do you need this many open for?
Well, those 10 are for chemical propellants, and those 15 are metallurgy, which, by the way, is very complicated. I'm not the one who wanted a gun.
That's fair. I'll leave you to it.
Metallurgy is like baking with metal.
Yeah.
Metallurgy is magic wizardry of the first order. Truly insane.
All right. I haven't yet gotten around to updating the overlay yet, but I will momentarily. But in Slack, you will momentarily see Durok's new look.
But over 2 weeks pass, as well, 2.5 weeks, theoretically. And eventually, you come out of FTL over the green world of Alurin. Alurin is verdant in ways that Nocturna could only dream of. There are trees large enough to be individually visible from space on the surface of Alurin.
Wow.
And it is, rather than oceans, it is simply run with lakes and rivers. It is mostly land, but it does seem to have a good amount of water running entirely across its surface. And the cities that exist are mixed, are a combination of extremely advanced sort of crystalline structures that are brimming with this sort of essence of magic technology, and also the constant presence of overgrown tree structures as you sort of look at the planet and pull up a Galnet summary of Alurin's sort of ecology and general history. What you learn is that the world of Alurin is a paradise world that is the original homeworld of the elven race. When the elves had a grand schism that divided them on different ideologies and split off into 3 different factions that would eventually become the 3 known subraces of elves in the galaxy at the moment. The 3 primary, anyway. The world of Alurin was willingly left, was decided to leave as a neutral zone for all elves. The world of Alurin would never be marred by the schism and violence that plagued the division between the elvish species. At the end of the Deadlock War, it was left within the divide as part of the peace agreement. And so High and Wood Elves have made this world their home for centuries, since the end of the war, in a tentative neutrality between the two, even though they, outside of Alurin, they have strong distaste for each other. And very recently, the Void Elves have returned to the scene, and although they are odd and kind of out of place everywhere on the galactic scene, Alurin is still their home, and so it is one of the very few places where you can expect to see a Void Elf. The world is marked by the constant creations of both the Magocracy and the magic and the Natural Order, being the 2 varieties of elves being very prominent in both those governments. But the planetary capital is known as Viseria, and the major port cities are Viseria, along with the city of Dusk's Run, which is more closer to tends to be more heavily populated with the High Elves, and then Stars Crossing, which tends to be more heavily populated with Wood Elves.
So where are we landing here for looking for our contact?
As you approach orbit over Alurin, your communicator goes off again.
Mark 7, why
will
do you have
quite
it
happily
set to
answer
sound
that.
like a barking dog?
It really gets
Best
your
way to get our
attention.
attention.
I will fix that before we undertake our next journey.
Sounds like you're gonna kill the dog.
But
I'll take care of it. Don't
He
worry.
just stars. I will answer the communication.
So you open it up, and it's Karos again. And she says, as it pulls up, "Welcome to Aloran, crew of the Studious Vanguard." You guys need to figure out a team name, by the way.
we are still working on that.
How'd you know we were here?
I have my sources. You actually just showed up on You showed up on Aloran's outer sensors, so
Which you
you've
have
been picked up
access
by the
to-
docking authority, and you'll be hailed very shortly.
Which you have access to
By
from all
them.
the way on Gilgamesh Station.
Who said I was all the way on Gilgamesh Station?
You're doing this just to seem enigmatic and mysterious, aren't you?
There's no seeming about it. Anyway, so
Kind of working.
the person you're looking for is going to be in Visaria. Conveniently, so is the Core Adventurers League headquarters on Aloran. So you'll want to land in Visaria, and you can find her at her research facility, which will be in the Duskrunner Plaza.
Oh, by the way, we've picked up a new member of the team on Nocturna. I say, pointing towards.
I'm aware.
How?
She just smiles at you.
Herschel smiles politely and waves. Hello.
Herschel, is it?
It is. It is.
It was literally a sealed off rock in the middle of space. How do you know information from there?
It's not exactly sealed off. I've been on Galnet this whole time.
But anyway, the Herschel, welcome to the crew. I hope you'll enjoy your time.
Thank you. So, I take by your welcome that I'm under the same contract as everyone else now?
If you'd like to be. You seem to be just the same kind of adventurer looking for exploration and trying to find something as all of your companions, so I'd be happy to help you out with whatever you're looking for.
Agreed.
All right. Sounds like we've got another member of the team. Well, my name is Karos. You'll meet me and my associate, Sonus, shortly after you complete your mission. Whenever you guys manage to meet up with your contact and figure out what she can learn about this orb you've got, go ahead and head to the Core Adventurers League home. I'll meet you there.
Very well.
Oh, confusingly, we're going to the city of Visaria, and not the city of Duskrunner.
Yes.
No, Duskrun.
Sorry. Yes, we're going to the city of Visaria, but then we're going to Duskrunner Plaza.
Yes, Visaria has sections in it that are denoted for both of the groups. There's Duskrunner Plaza, which is home to most of the High Elven research institutes, and there's also Starseeker Alley, or Starseeker Reach, which is home to most of the Natural Order's temples and organizational structures.
Okay. I just wanted to make sure I got that right.
It can be confusing for non-natives, but you'll get used to it. There's a constant competition between the two, and the Void Elves just kind of look at it askance.
Okay. Healthy competition, sure. I mean, it sure grows.
I wouldn't call it healthy.
No? I mean,
Well,
look at the world.
it's a competition to the level that caused a schism between the two factions of what was once one species and created such a divide that they are now evolutionarily two different people. So,
3 if you
Point
count the Void
taken.
Elves.
Well, yes, 3, counting the ones that decided they didn't want part of that conflict and went off into the space between galaxies.
Thus also becoming part of the conflict, just not one of the active participants.
Well, if we're going to think like that, I'm also part of the conflict.
Oh no.
And so are you.
Technically, yes, but that's not quite what I was reaching at. Anyways. Then I guess we should hang up with you so we're not keeping the Port Authority on hold.
Yes, I'll let them get to you.
Very well.
And she hangs up, and shortly after, you are hailed by Port Authority,
Quite
who are asking you
as well.
who are asking you where you would like to land and what your business is.
Our business is in Viceria. We intend to speak with a researcher in Duskrunner Plaza.
You're acknowledged and given a specific landing location for your ship. You are informed that a welcoming committee will be there to meet you and just ensure that your business is legitimate. And after that, you will be free to go on your way.
Acknowledged and understood.
Forgot to ask you guys before we left. Is there equivalent of a passport here? Should I have brought something? Papers of some sort?
You wouldn't have had anything to bring.
Well, I have papers proving I exist.
You have papers proving that you're a sentient tree that was only given life after the alchemist that you stood watch over for the entirety of his life died.
No, I have papers proving that I was bought from a nursery and planted.
Which would thus not really validate, because you're not planted there anymore, are you?
Well, see, they just prove I exist, nothing more.
You'll be fine.
Okay.
You don't need all that much paperwork in the Divide.
It's not until you get into, any of the regions of space for which people claim ownership that you have to worry about papers.
Okay.
And at that
Presumably the studious Vanguard puts down.
Yes. I would have taken us in as soon as the communication wrapped up.
Yep. So you land the ship and put down clamps and are settled in on the world of Allure. The docking area that you land in on Viceria is unique, to say the least. It is a large square structure marked with crystals on each of the 4 corners that sort of act as guiding lights, but at the same time is completely grown over with vine work and plant life. And in fact, the landing platform that you land on is like a metal platform that is supported by massive series of roots and tree limbs that just sort of absorb the impact and bend under the weight and then just sort of spring back.
What a world. This is pretty good.
Yes, while we're here, I'll need to acquire some more materials so that I can turn Saoirse back to her proper form.
I'm assuming you depart.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Well,
as the group of you exit the landing ramp.
For whatever it's worth, my staff and book are hidden in my sleeves. The rapier is being worn on my right hip.
So
Cardon, did you want to take Fearthing and keep that on hand? Since you're proficient in it now?
Cody?
I didn't say anything.
Question.
No, I didn't hear. I actually didn't hear the past 10 seconds. My internet got out for a second.
Did you want to take Fearthing and keep that on hand as one of your weapons?
Sure. If
Cool.
if
Oh.
you don't want to hold on to it, then yeah, he'll take that.
Well, I have enough guns.
Okay. Yeah, he'll take that, and he'll actually, if you give it to him with enough time, he will focus his key on that for a minute, or for a while, which is basically a rest.
I would have given you this like during the journey once you become proficient with it.
Okay. Then yeah. It is now a monk weapon.
Can you do that to ranged weapons?
It's any weapon so long as it's not heavy or special.
A short bow can be a monk weapon, right?
Yeah.
All right. So you are now a gunslinging monk.
You shaved
By its
this
name, the
weapon's
heavy revolver
hair
does
and-
not have the heavy property.
Yeah.
You shaved this weapon's hair and took away all its gold.
What?
You made it a monk.
Oh. Sorry, that took me a while.
Unfortunately, the hair is still there, and the gold in line is still there.
This is my inner peace. Thank you. Good night.
So, as you exit the ramp, you are greeted by a guard of elves. There are 4 of them in total. 2 high elves, 2 wood elves. The high elves dressed in sort of long flowing robes with these tall sort of energy shields that act as almost tower shields, with sort of scepters that look like a combination of staff and shock baton in the other hand, just sort of moving in this very regimented step. And then alongside them, moving significantly less militaristically, is a pair of wood elves, both of which are carrying just these very long, intricate looking bows, and wearing these sort of very like formal, highly advanced tailoring, but still like leather material outfits, with sort of intricate weaving and patterns across them. The wood elves have like these elaborate facial tattoos that mark up their appearance.
So,
as they
oh, go ahead.
as they approach, one of the high elves just says, "Greetings, all of you. We're just here to inspect the group of you and confirm that your intentions are as you stated them to the docking officials."
Certainly.
Very well.
So he says, as the other 3 go about, just sort of like giving you a quick once over to confirm where your weapons are at, and like nothing invasive, just sort of confirming that you've got everything and you're not concealing any particular weapons of like significant note.
I will flip out the book and staff.
Yeah, they confirm that you have those, and you are allowed to return them to their hidden position.
Definitely not concealing any of my weapons.
So, you mentioned that you are here looking for a professor.
Indeed.
May I ask who in particular?
Dr. Kyler and Ventress.
Kyler Vantris, thank you. We will let her know that you are looking for her, and you can find her in the Duskrunner Plaza at the local research into precursor technology. It is the largest of the structures present in the plaza. It's decorated with the most obvious precursor influence.
Very good.
He confirms with the other 3 elves, and he gives you a nod. All right, you off you go. Your vessel will be kept safe as long as you're docked here. If you wish, your engineer can speak with us if the ship requires any refueling.
She will. I'm sure that she will.
Mm-hmm. You nod and part for you to allow you to pass.
So I just wanted to throw this up because I've updated the overlay and everything. So I imagine that the robes that the Empress was wearing were actually like sort of repurposed from old uniforms that the ship had when it crashed. So I imagine that just based on the description, Duroc now looks like he's some sort of ship captain, as he's just sort of walking behind Mark 7, who looks like a pirate.
I mean, I haven't figured out what my Glimmit's leather looks like yet, so...
Yeah, I'm just based on what we've got on the overlay right now. It's just like pirate,
that's
captain, stone man, tree.
We certainly know how to make a first impression, don't we?
But as you depart and move your way into Aloran proper, that's where we're going to take a break.
All right, I'll switch over to this boss stage. We'll be back in just a few minutes. We're back.
So, you exit out into the city of Visaria, and again, you are struck by the incredible melding of advanced magic technology and raw natural construction. Just trees acting as support structures for magical crystals and sweeping architecture that could not have been made by hand, that is just surrounded by plant life. And this weird colliding, competing air of dueling architectures, except one person was a druid and one person was insane.
This is where the Vargans get their inspiration from. Huh. Fascinating.
I am familiar with that name.
The United Isles of Vargas. It's an elven kingdom on my home planet. Lots of similar construction. Not exactly the same, obviously. They're islands, floating ships, things like that. But still, I can see the inspiration.
Right. We have a researcher to find.
I wonder how they got there, because they were definitely there before we had spaceflight. Sorry, ignore me. Let's go, find researcher.
Biggest building, I was told.
That one, I'm assuming, I say pointing.
Well,
Yes,
first you have to find first you're gonna have to find Duskrunner Plaza.
Oh, shit.
And it's the biggest building in Duskrunner Plaza.
Ah, we're in the wrong
Right.
spot.
Oh,
Different biggest building.
Is there any of those "You Are Here" maps that are in malls?
Roll me
Like
perception.
Alpha? All right,
we're just gonna do the tourist thing. Let's go.
20.
So you look around, and yeah, you can find conveniently placed near the spaceport so that people coming onto the planet from off planet can see it. There is in fact a city map that can be accessed to try and figure out where you're at and where you're going. Duskrunner Plaza is a significantly large, sort of faintly ovoid section that is due west of here. It looks like it shouldn't be. If you walk, it'll be a couple of hours, but it looks like you can also just get an air taxi.
Wow, your handwriting sucks, Sam.
It's a mouse, and then don't draw attention to it. Where? Wait. So we can rent an air taxi that'll fit all of us.
Yeah.
That sounds fun. We should do
Taxi.
that.
Yeah. You now that you are on a world where your goblin credits will actually pay for things.
Yeah, I can spend money now.
So it's a trip to Duskrunner Plaza is just going to be like 4 credits.
Oh yes, I do.
All right,
That's right. I have a cred stick.
796. I'll pay for it.
What is a cred stick?
It's this right here. I say, holding up a small, it looks like an extended USB.
Yeah, Cardon holds his up as well.
Mark 7 just pops off the tip of their left ring finger, and there's a USB stick in there.
We're gonna have to get you one, Herschel.
Okay.
It's how we carry our money in a more digital form rather than having to lug around bags full of coins.
Big sacks are heavy, yes. But then how do people know that you're rich?
Well, typically by the clothes you're wearing, or the entourage you have around you, or the private vehicle in which you're sitting.
Right. So
Or
you
they
can't
whisper
just,
your name.
You
Yes.
can't just stuff rocks in your money bags and make them jingle.
I
No?
mean, you
All right.
can, but that's fairly gauche.
Well, apparently I'm from a backwater planet where we do such gauche things.
It's all right. You have plenty of time to learn.
Get baby's first cred stick here.
Has a 20 credit limit.
You all sit down in the air taxi, which is incredibly upholstered. Like this is one of the richer planets in the galaxy, being the home to two different governments, one of their founding species. So it gets a lot of trade and just support money.
Which clearly went into improving infrastructure across the board.
Generally, everywhere. The taxi is large enough for all of you, and is very nicely upholstered in this sort of faux, like artificial leather designed to create like a comforting feel, and this sort of.
I've just realized, looking around this air taxi, that we left Lyra on the ship with wrenches.
Did you?
I'm just gonna say yes because it's comedic.
Yeah. This is Lyra's first like real chance at a break in however long since she's been summoned, right?
Yes, I think she deserves a bit of a rest. Oh no.
I am sure she will find ways to entertain herself. Maybe she and Wrenches will have a girls' night.
Or maybe they'll kill each other.
I certainly hope not.
As do I.
Wrenches would be victorious.
We'll find out, I guess.
Cut to Lyra standing in the middle of an open square, just big grin on her face. But a few minutes pass by as the air taxi takes off the ground and makes their way across towards Duskrunner Plaza. You get to watch all of these buildings pass by at a high speed.
Well, Herschel, I've never had the opportunity to ask a member of your species, does the air taste different to you like it does to us?
Taste is a I suppose you could equate it to taste. Yeah, sure. It's less of a taste and more of a tingle, I guess, an all spread out tingle over your leaves.
Are you able to detect the differences in like how large a range of air quality difference are you able to detect with that?
I mean, let me think back onto it. How much dirt could you detect if you drank it in a cup of water?
Quite a bit actually. Like even small amounts.
It would take a bit. Small amounts. Okay.
Even small amounts, yes.
Well, picture you have a mouth over most of your body.
Okay.
Just thousands of tiny mouths.
Okay. Fascinating.
Horrifying biological concept.
But interestingly true.
Pulls out a book, starts writing down notes.
The word you're going to want to write down is gas exchange.
A couple minutes pass by, and the taxi sets down in Duskrunner Plaza. And as soon as you get out, you can tell which of these structures is the facility dedicated to precursor research, because it's A, as mentioned, the largest building here, and B, the most aesthetically different, because instead of the like very smooth sweeping structures that high elvish creations have, and by the way, because you moved into Duskrunner Plaza, the natural grown tree work has sort of peeled back a bit, and there's a lot more of just the elvish, like the high elvish construction. But this particular building has a lot of the like hard angles and like very almost like high technology brutalist style that a lot of precursor structures have.
Oh, I love a good brutalist style. This is me talking, the architecture major. Ugh.
That's the building.
It's like if you took brutalism and advanced it like 10,000 years.
Oh yeah, I mean, they were making headway before it kind of tipped off at the end there, but like, oh yeah.
Speaking of, you know what I really enjoy fantasy settings that are like post-apocalyptic but so far beyond that the people that are in the setting have lost all concept of what the civilization was before.
Oh,
and
there is no before times. Oh yes.
So you have these ancient ruins where in other fantasies it would be like, some sort of ancient fantastical species built these long before we humans arrived, and it's like a megaplex. I love that. I love that very specific thing, because you mentioned brutalist architecture, and it's always those kinds of buildings that are still left. It's just
there's an airport in Florida that is just gorgeous brutalism.
It's just a big box of concrete. Who made this? It's a parking garage. It's like sorry.
Yeah, it's very much the sort of like very hard angles and like big like jagged shapes. Mm-hmm. And yeah, it is marked with the Elvish and Goblin indications that would denote it as the Visaria as the Visaria Institute of Precursor Research.
Well, here we are. I've got the orb safely secreted away. Let's go find our researcher.
You enter the building. The doors slide away as you approach. And inside there is just a reception desk that's been set up in the middle of a very large waiting room.
Just because he is exactly this kind of nerd, Duroc does a small hand wave as the doors slide open.
You look up, you look around, and it's this very, very large waiting room with like a single reception desk, dead center in like this circular position, dead center of the room, with just a bunch of series of tables and chairs for people to wait around with like idle reading material and occasionally like a few board games like chess sets and such. And a very, very bored looking like young elf woman sitting at the reception desk with like her face in her palm, just sort of looking at like tabbing through a Galnet screen.
Would like to approach the desk.
You approach and she looks up and like realizes there are people here and kind of straightens up a bit. Welcome to the Visaria Institute for Precursor Research. What can I do for you today?
We would like to speak with Dr. Kyler and Ventris, if she is available.
Right. I'll just alert Dr. Ventris and see if she's expecting you. And she kind of reaches down and presses a button, and you can see that there's an earpiece in her ear that sort of picks up. Yes, Dr. Ventris, there's a group of people here to see you. All right, I will send them through. And she clicks off the button. Yes, Dr. Ventris is expecting you. You can find her, and she indicates towards one of the doors in the back of the room. Go through that door, and take the second left, down 3 doors on your right.
Route mapped. Thank you for your time.
She nods and goes back to just idly paging through a Galnet, through a Galnet site.
Follow along behind Mark 7.
Yes, I will lead the way. Doing my best not to dare too much at anything that might be on display.
I'm staring.
If there is anything.
I'm staring at everything.
There are a few things, but they're mostly just sort of like mysterious objects that we have no idea what they do, and they're just sort of these like very small sort of capsule. Like a lot of them are relatively small, but like there's a handful of these like small, like football-shaped capsules that have like a series of various runic markings on them that stand with like four, almost like spider legs on the bottom that sort of stand up and hold them onto the ground.
You know what? No, I've changed my mind. Can I read any of the runes on them?
You can, and they all like each of them has like the same series of runes on them. They all seem to be multiple copies of the same precursor tech. And the runes on them are they appear to be a sequential designation of like this is this unit, like this model built in this sequence. They all have like an advancing numeric sequence. It looks like these are like units 10,000 through 10,020 of this particular model range, and it seems like it's mostly like a serial number.
Yeah, that makes sense. The precursors would do that.
I've grabbed whatever reading material I could grab on the way through the lobby and just thumbing through it while looking at everything.
It is the most kitschy, like the precursors and you sort of like
absolutely.
generic
Just
overview of how precursor technology is and what it represents.
Flipping through pages, just comparing this to what I'm seeing on the walls. Just I have been let loose in a library.
But you eventually come to the door in question, and you open the door, and the area inside looks like a bomb went off, but in that sort of...
But in a good way.
Yeah, yeah.
I mean,
there are piles of ancient technology sort of scattered about in different locations, just like research documents haphazardly left on top of the thing that they're referencing. There's a series of computers on the back wall that are all running different processes. Just like everything is strewn about in what you can only describe as organized mayhem. As there is this one elvish woman with her long auburn hair sort of tied back in this sort of very frayed, frizzy, like Wendy the Welder ponytail. Like that sort of like the ponytail is tied back and then just kind of flares out immediately right after leaving the binder.
Yep.
She has these sort of like half-rimmed glasses on her face as she is sort of like very carefully piecing together like a metal plate onto another piece of technology. It's like, careful, and she clicks it on and it begins to glow and hover. She's like, oh, okay, that's working. And then she turns around and sees the group of you. Oh, right, guests, people with an item.
I'm looking.
You are here for me to inspect something.
I'm looking through any papers I can see at the moment while she was messing with the thing. I was like, information.
Indeed.
All of the papers that you can see appear to be notes written by this professor on whatever she seems to think and surmise the object that it is sitting on is.
Dirac.
Oh yes. Oh, sorry. Yes, Professor
Vantris.
Walk forward, reach into my bag, pull out the orb. We were told you might be able to assist us in identifying this.
Immediately as you pull it out, you see her eyes light up. And she sort of, oh, I don't believe, oh God, Ekmera, preserve me. And she sort of runs over and sort of snatches the orb and just kind of like immediately walks over to an examining table and sets it down and just starts to pull various devices around to get a look at it and just starts like observing every single facet of what appears to be a completely smooth orb. So you're not certain what she's looking at.
Yeah, so as I sort of follow behind her, so we've discovered that it's useful as a power source, specifically powering a ship-destroying cannon mounted on a planet. Also, it resists magical identification and can reveal the true nature of other precursor artifacts that have had their natures hidden for one reason or another when held nearby.
That would explain why it did nothing to me.
I wonder. We should try and hide you and see what happens.
But she's poring over it, and you can see that she's getting more and more excited. And there's no way. You found one of the 7 harvest orbs.
Does that mean anything to me?
To explain that one to us.
You can roll me a religion check if you like.
Anybody?
Yeah, anyone can.
I mean, sure, I might know something.
I'll take it. I mean,
Ooh, you all in trouble. I got a 6.
Oh, that's a 5 for me. I didn't take advantage of. Sorry.
I got a 9.
I'll quite happily take that 21.
I barely know more than the tree that was born a month ago.
Technically, I am 2 weeks and a half week and 15 days old. I haven't done the math.
I'm gonna use one of my chronal shifts to reroll that.
30 Terra days. Then.
Yeah.
There, 14.
As if that's a thing.
9.
So, Mark 7. You are aware of the term Harvest Orb as being associated with the goddess Ekmera, which is some sort of artifact associated with her. You don't know a whole lot more than that, but you are aware of the association with Ekmera.
Mm-hmm.
What are those?
The 7 Harvest Orbs are legendary artifacts, supposedly of precursor design associated with the goddess Ekmera. It's something that we've been looking into for a very, very long time to try and find any of these, but theoretically their existence and nature kind of implies that the precursors had a similar pantheon of gods, or at least like had something to do with the existence of the gods that we know. We've never found anything relating to Deadlock, but that makes sense because it's implied that, Deadlock was born out of the Deadlock War. But the gods that we know in the galaxy today, the oldest of them, like Ekmera and her husband Ingvar, are the existence of artifacts like these sort of implies that they predate all civilization as we know it. And these artifacts are a rare find.
I mean, is that such a surprise, though? I mean, one would assume that gods would predate the civilizations that worship them, because they would create certain aspects of them.
Depends on your realm of divine theory. There's the prevailing theory that the civilization creates the god, and through their worship creates divine godhead into existence. It's complicated, but Ekmera and Ingvar and a select handful of the different divine entities appear to have precursor artifacts and technologies associated with them, which implies a far older period of existence than any recorded history on them.
So what do the Harvest Orbs do?
That's the thing we don't know. We just have, from precursor dig sites, we've got reference made to them of these 7 spheres of the harvest associated with the goddess Ekmera and imbued with aspects of her dominion over nature. If I had to guess, this would be the Blossom Orb. It's each of the Harvest Orbs has been thematically associated with an aspect of nature and the growth of and the cycle of seasons. The Blossom Orb was supposedly apocryphally written as the orb that represents the unveiling of growth, when buds turn to flowers and reveal their true nature.
That makes sense, well, given what we've seen of it.
Indeed.
And each of these orbs is incredibly powerful and possesses unique abilities that we have no idea how to study, but it's just finding one is incredible. Where did you even get this?
Well, it was plugged into a cannon that was being used to isolate a small planet from any and all extraterrestrial activity.
Sorry, what?
It was being used as a
It was
power
used-
source of a gun to shoot down ships.
A precursor made ship killer platform.
Yes.
Huh. I'm glad it's not being used for that anymore.
Yes, it's a very good thing.
Yes.
So
The
the planet
empire
can
that
happen.
wielded it. The empire that wielded it is being dismantled as we speak. Hopefully.
Rearranged, but yes.
Well, that's good at least, but this is incredible, and to think such an ancient item would be on some backwater world.
Well,
Yep.
I mean, it makes sense. These items are not going to be. If they were on a more populated or technologically advanced world, they would have been discovered and put to use. So
Theoretically.
The
We've been
orb
sending
was discovered and put to use, but in an incorrect manner.
or in a correct
cannon
manner.
was- The cannon was present before the ship landed on it.
Yes. It's entirely possible that the orb was designed to be a power source for the gun that it was fitted to. Hence why it was found that way.
I doubt it, considering at least from what we know of Precursor script, the sort of the legends that exist around these orbs. It's supposedly the original Precursor Empire, the Harvest Orbs were passed around as sort of almost like a public service. Whenever a world needed the efforts and powers of a Harvest Orb, it was sent to that world to assist.
Really needed to shoot a big creature. I have no idea. I'm just speculating.
I may be able to provide a more precise translation of anything you have come up with.
I can pull up some of the. Hang on a minute. And she runs over to one of the computer banks and begins to she plugs in a data slate and starts to type away for a minute.
I begin grabbing like small bits and pieces that are set aside somewhere and very clearly not identified yet, and just like sort of putting them near the orb and seeing if they react, and then putting them away and then grabbing another one and then doing the same thing. We're seeing if any of this random miscellanea that's on the ground turns into something different.
Doesn't seem to be, at the very least.
I'm occupying myself.
You sort of like futz around a little bit and just roll me a D100 real quick, just in case.
Okay. $88.
Yeah, so nothing in the room quite changes anything. All seems to be relatively straightforward tech.
Execute Order 88. What's that?
Precisely nothing happens.
It's my burrito order.
Hug all the Jedi.
Hug them now. I'm just the Jedi looking surprised as like his troops aren't following him over the top, and then one of them just runs up and gives him a hug
From behind. Yeah. Just throws them off so bad they die anyways.
Execute
No.
Order 88. Hug.
Yeah,
What the fuck?
it's the one that catches him more off guard, because they don't kill them with blaster fire. They kill them like bees kill wasps, where they just pile on and vibrate and heat them up.
Kill them with kindness. Oh no.
Oh god.
So now I'm just thinking like, dude, we're in the middle of a fight. Cool your jets.
This is a story. This is a tale the Jedi wouldn't tell you.
But eventually she comes back with a data slate full of different archived texts, and you can go ahead and roll me a history check, Mark 7.
22.
Nice.
How come you roll high on your +5 and I roll low on my +5?
Because this is a +5 that I took because I am a being that's probably several millennia old.
Yes, and their +5 means something.
My +5 means something too.
You're a bit more versed
Apparently
in recent history.
My +5 means I can lightning bolt the fuck out of you.
I mean, yeah, fair. Although I have a +8 or a +9 for that right now.
But the text that she hands you does appear to be it is written as sort of like a manifest, like a sort of just like a logistics,
An inventory record.
more like
A shipping manifest?
I'm trying to think. It's like a logistics record of the movement of assets. Like it's not like
It's a shipping manifest.
kind of, but it's not like this is a manifest that was with the item that was being moved. It's more like this is a record of where this item has gone.
It's a
that would have
shipping
been kept
record.
in a central location.
It's a shipping
Oh
record.
no, it's like a library's lending out the books record.
Kind of ish. And yeah, it appears to be like a list of places that the Blossom Orb has been sent to. And it's just like sent to, world name retrieved, sent to, world name retrieved. And it's just like lists of reasons why. Like planet needs like X amount of increased growth potential. Planet has planet afflicted by unknown issue, needs revelation, etc., etc. It's like a list of reasons why this orb has gone to this world and when it was retrieved and brought back. The world names don't sync up because it's been fucking millennia and the rise and fall of an entire culture. But
yeah, like none of the names of the worlds would like translate to modern day.
Yeah. But from what you can gather from looking at this, it seems like the Blossom Orb was very frequently sent to a place that needed revelation. Like there was some unknown problem that was going on, and they needed the Blossom Orb to show them what they were dealing with. Like there were records of like a disease was ravaging a people and they couldn't figure out what was causing it, so they sent the Blossom Orb to unveil the nature of the disease and allow them to properly counteract. Or there was a mysterious threat identified on another world, and that needed to be sort of unveiled and revealed to the military so that they could properly fight it back. And as you get later and later in the entries, more and more of these reasons why become the same thing over and over again. And it's the same reason is listed every time as it gets later and later, and it's just unknown portal site listed as the only reason every single time.
Portal site.
Intriguing. It is, as you say, the orb is an unveiler of mysteries. I have reason to believe, however, that there is one that it could not solve.
What's that?
The orb has been dispatched across the galaxy in the time of the precursors. It was sent in response to the manifestation of a portal. Seemingly, these portals appeared across several worlds. The orb was unable to identify them or determine a solution to them. This may be the fall of my creators. I do not know.
Mark 7, does it say how long between each dispatch of the orb to a new world?
Several
It's,
times.
it's measured in a time unit that doesn't sync up with modern day, so
Okay.
Yeah, I'll just relay that.
yeah, it's synced up to a day or year cycle that doesn't mean anything because it's based on a precursor world that you have no reference for.
Yeah, it's
Right.
in the precursor calendar, and nobody uses that anymore.
Yeah.
It only took 3 years to get to there, so I don't know what the
Ooh.
problem is.
Does it say where the Blossom Orb was last sent?
I mean, it does, but the world name means nothing.
Yeah, but it was never
The
retrieved.
true
and it was
name
never
of my
retrieved from
world.
there, right?
Hang on.
Yeah, and it was never retrieved.
So that's got to be.
And the reason for that was these portals.
Presumably, yes.
Oh, why was it sent to the world?
Yes. Yeah, you
Yeah,
have the
again,
record.
the requisition reason is unknown portal site.
Unknown.
Same as every other one in the end of the log.
How many portal
Would it
sites
make
did it say? I mean, how many worlds? I guess give that reason.
Actually, I have a
Like-
question.
Mhm.
Sorry, Sam.
No, it's fine.
Does the log show any any requests for the orb that weren't filled,
Oh, that's a good question.
or does
It
it
does not.
just, or does it just shows the ones that log where
Yeah,
the orb was sent?
it just shows the ones where the orb was actually sent. This is
Doesn't show the
presumably
applications.
any rejected request would be in a different form.
So
Yeah.
it may very well have been that it was meant for that, or at least in this particular instance, that it was meant for that gun, because unknown portal site, so something was opening up portals on precursor worlds, presumably some hostile forces coming through it, since it resulted in the destruction of that civilization.
Order of magnitude on number of portal worlds: 10 or 100 or.
The list of entries goes on for hundreds.
How many of them are retrieved from portal worlds? All of them except for the last 7?
All of them except for the last one.
The last one.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, because that's the world that we found it on.
Well, no. I meant, is this only for the Blossom Orb?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Sorry, I was thinking it's all 7. Okay. Yes.
It may be that the Blossom Orb was dispatched to Nocturna and never retrieved, or it may have been intercepted and the ship it was on scuppered mid-flight.
But either
We
way,
may never know.
keep an eye out for portals, I guess.
Researcher Vantris, where was this manifest found?
It was on a precursor dig site closer to the core. It was actually just a few FTL days rimward of the galactic core on what we sort of theorized to be a major precursor travel hub world.
Have you found anything similar to this?
I mean, various documents for various topics, but this is the only one that we found on the Blossom Orb specifically.
Okay. thinking maybe we could cross-reference, locations of if like a world got 2 orbs,
That would probably be. We might could. I mean, I could try. It'll take some time.
Sure.
Thinking
Well,
additional cross-referencing.
Well, I can start, I guess, but it's going to be an amount of time. You guys, can you, Mark 7, can you give me a quick rundown of the world names that are relevant, especially that last one? And then after you give me that rundown, you guys can head over to the Core Adventurers League because I know you're waiting to talk to someone, and I can do some cross-referencing for a while.
Do you have a spare blank datapad?
Yes, and she sets it down next to you.
I pop off a finger and plug a USB stick into it. Just transcribe it rather than just rattling them off aloud.
Mm-hmm. The data pad fills up. She takes it from you. All right, I'll start looking then.
I put my finger back on.
it's so much more visceral than like Wi-Fi.
I mean, I've got these plugs for a reason. I might as well use them.
Do you have a Dropbox or a? Can I send you a file on Google Drive?
So,
oh Lord.
As you head out, while she does her cross-referencing to go and meet at the Core Adventurers League location.
I grabbed the orb and put it in my bag.
Yeah, in Visaria.
I thought she needed the orb to like look at more. Was she done with it?
Oh,
I mean, she identified
she's not done with it, but
Well,
I mean,
yeah, I
she might not be done with it, but we were told we're not leaving it anywhere, so I'm taking it with us.
I mean, yeah,
no,
true.
fair. Yeah.
Yeah. So, as you head out to head to the Core Adventurers League, that is where we will end for the week.
Say goodbye, everybody.
Goodbye.
Bye.
Goodbye.